So, on today's topic, I wanted to talk about why people do bad things. Another video I was talking about why people do anything, like why do we get up in the morning and why do we go to work. So uh, that was a basic video, you can say, an introduction to why we do things. But I wanted to break down further into why we do bad and good things. So, on this video, since it takes too long to go into good and bad things, I will break down why, or at least my thoughts on why we do bad things. Now, this can be anything from anything small, like taking like stealing a little bit like a child, um, stealing a little money from home, or let's say a scammer trying to scam people, or someone who is in a very high powered situation, uh, that is just like running a company but giving fraudulent profits to show that the company is doing well but it's not doing well. So there's different level of bad things per se that we can go through, and maybe why some people do it, and we can understand a little bit better why some people do bad things. That there's no, I'm not in this video, I'm not trying to justify the bad things, I'm just trying to understand why people do bad things. um, and there are different type of people that go into different type of situations, and they have to, or they indirectly, or for some reason they end up doing these. I'll just keep repeating the word bad things to simplify it. And also, I'm not going to be talking about one of the worst bad things that you can do is taking someone else's life. So that I want to deep dive that in another video. So for today, we'll just be talking about the normal scenarios that we see in the world, not the extreme scenarios. So one reason I think people do bad things is just to survive. So let's take scammers for an instance. Now, there will be some reason that this person became a scammer. It's not that people grow. If you think about it, when we are children, we always want to be a superhero, or we want to do good things in the world. Very rarely do you think about children, and then you think about them thinking that they're going to do bad things in the future. So when these people become, like, let's say a scammer for instance, they 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 go through a path in life and they somehow become a scammer. Again, I'm not making any excuse for them, but it's weird how that they end up in that situation. Either either they lack education, they have education but they're not able to get a decent paycheck when they apply for a job, when they do get a job, it's not enough money to sustain them and their family. Let's imagine that one of the scenarios is they have to take care of their mother and father, but they are it's a one income family and they have to depend on the child to earn. So there will be different situations, and then out of desperation, he they will end up in that call center, and then they will uh, end up scamming people. And I'm assuming these scammers, they do get good incentive based rewards for scamming people. That's why they end up staying there. So they end up, if they do well at scamming people, they end up getting money, and that's why they stay there. There's no reason for them to leave. They get used to that lifestyle. So it could be one of the reasons why this person would become a scammer, because their life is in such a situation that they need a certain level of income just to live. It's not like to live extravagantly, because from the research that I did a little bit about scamming, is that they only earn like a decent amount of salary. They don't even earn too much, because even in scamming, it takes hard work to scam someone. So like you have to find really gullible people to scam, and it takes a lot of time to find that gullible person. Again, not justifying what they're doing, but I'm just saying it's there are people that are willing to pay a livable wage to scam people, and so these people end up becoming that. So it's a survival issue. That's why they become scammers. Okay, so the next topic I wanted to talk about is fear. Now, fear also can make people do bad things. Like if we have to go to the extreme, like just imagine in a dictatorship country. This is just a very extreme example. Uh, if they the the leadership of the country is threatening to end to take away your family's life if you don't do something that is not technically ethical, or they will make you. Well, I've seen some videos where people take other people's lives, and it's actually because of they were ordered to, or something like that. So those are the extreme bads. But then let's think of a possible situation that happens to some people. Imagine a person who has a good life and a family, but there's a situation where he takes on debt, and then as it progresses he goes further into debt, and then there's no normal way that he can pay off all his debts. So the company that he's working for, he starts stealing from the company, either the information and selling it, or he starts stealing from the company somehow. And the reason why he would have started stealing from the company is because of fear of what he is going to lose, of what he built. Basically, he would have built a nice life for himself. He would have built a nice life for his family and the people that are surrounding it. And then he's afraid, fear basically, that he's going to lose that. So that would have been one example of why people do bad things, because of the situations that they've created. Uh, the situation that they created and the fear of losing it. So those are the reasons why some people do these things. And again, I'm going to make sure that if you're listening to this video, I am not justifying what they are doing. So this is just thinking about why these people do things. And then I'll go on to the next topic. Is the most common one. Why we think that people do things, bad things, is greed. So when the most typical person that does bad things is out of greed. So I feel these are the most common people. The people who do, like, let's say the person who opened that call center, for example, to have scammers scam people. That person is a prime example of greed. Like they could have opened a normal BPO. I'm sorry, they could open a normal a call center, and they could have had a normal legit business selling something, or having doing some outsourcing work or for someone else, or doing someone else's billing, something like that, a legit work. They could have taken that investment money that they had, and they could have opened a legit business. But no, they went to the scammer business. That is the ideal person for greed, and there's absolutely no excuse for these people. You cannot have like one morse of remorse for these people. It's very hard to uh, justify their cause at all. And I've seen videos where these people live lavishly as well from the money that they scammed. Basically, the returns are very high, I believe, in the scamming business for the people who owned the scamming companies. So it's these, and then there are people who own big corporations, for example. They, as long as I think it's typical human behavior to put ourselves first and someone else second or last. Um, so I think when it comes to these big corporations, they basically just see everyone as numbers. So if they have to lay off a big amount of people from the company, they just do it as numbers. They don't see names, and they don't see uh, faces. They just see them as these numbers that are pulling salary every month from this company. So they justify the cause like in other ways to make sure to say that they are doing well, they're doing the right thing. But in reality, there would have been a reason why they did these things. So I think when it comes to, let's say, laying off people, I don't know. I can't say if that's a bad thing or not, because when it comes to businesses, just uh, their mindset is profit. So as long as they are making good profits and they are doing well, and then the uh, basically the next year after the next year has to keep constantly climbing. If it doesn't, if it's just stagnate or goes low, I'm assuming that's the time that they look into terminating people. So, I'm going a little off here because I don't know if that actually considers a bad thing, because that is just business logic. So, if a company is not making enough money, they basically, the first thing that I think they think of is terminating people. It's the easiest way for them to save money. These are mid-size or large-size corporations, not the smaller ones. Um, I think the smaller ones, they try to do other things before terminating people. Again, it's just purely assumption based, no research. But we've seen, if we watch the news, we can see people terminating. But I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. I just wanted to put that there because it's business logic. Like they say, it's business, not personal. Uh, so when it comes to, like going back to greed, when people do these bad things, it's mostly because of greed. It's most common for these people. They put themselves first. So, and they want the most. They want the best for themselves. So they have no problem doing these bad things to make sure that they get ahead in life, or anything. It's not just money and money situation. It could be other examples. I'm having a tough time thinking about them right now, but I'm sure you might be knowing what I'm talking about. Like some people will have different situations of how, because of greed, another person's greed, they were not able to move up in life, or not able to have a normal life because of someone else's greed. Then I think another type of situation that could cause people to do bad things is anger. Sometimes, like think about like when two people fight, for instance. If you see two people going at it on the road, those people basically, they now if you hit another person, that's a bad thing. So when we see two people fighting on the road, most likely it had something to do with anger, because if they had to sit and, like I told in like I had explained in my other video, if we just sit and think a little bit more, I'm 100% sure, let's say if those people had to sit and think a little bit more, they wouldn't have started fighting. They maybe they would have found a different way of resolving whatever the issue was between them. So when those people were hitting each other, they for sure are doing bad things. So the one of the second or the third most reason why people do bad things is because of anger, and they just do it without thinking. And also, I want to bring a little or maybe I will put this towards the last. I won't say this right now. I'll put what I wanted to say right now in the end. Um, so I think I'll just end this for now, the anger part for now. So one of the reason why people do bad things is anger, because they don't think about it. They like if when you're angry, your sometimes common sense doesn't work. So you do certain things, like let's say even sometimes people rage quit. That term is there. So it can be from a job or from a game or from some situation. Because of their anger, they left that situation. And if they had to think about it logically, let's say if the person who quit their job because of their anger, if they had to sit and think for like a minute, I'm sure they would have they would have convinced themselves to stay at that job because they need that job. There are certain people that quit from their jobs because of anger. And that also is technically a bad thing, because if they left their job and they need their job, they're only doing self destruction. And maybe if they have a family that depends on them, and they lose their salary, they are causing problems for their family, and that's a bad thing, right? Like if you think about it, there are so many different situations that we can consider as bad things. Um, okay, I'll move on to the next topic. This The next topic, maybe we can forgive, but not fully. I think people need to learn consequences, but we can be a little bit more empathetic. Is people that who do bad things as they're ignorant. Now, just take the same situation I brought in the beginning, the scam call center, for example. Because when we say bad things, maybe some people think about scamming. So let's say one person starts working in a scam call center, but they don't know it's a scam call center. If someone had clearly told them, you're going to come here and we're going to scam people, I'm sure they wouldn't join wholeheartedly. Um, so when they join that company, they just start working in like up for a few months or for 6 months, and then they would have been under the assumption that maybe they are uh, doing some type of IT work for the company, but like by helping people and then charging them an amount or something like that. Like I've seen some scammers where they try to access the bank account and take all the money from the bank account. I think those people can't play ignorance. But then I've seen some scamming where they charge like a reasonable or a little bit more amount to fix a simple issue or something like that. But that's technically a scam or something like that. People can fix it themselves, or they can call the actual company and fix it. Some software problem, but these scammers try to get in the way and simply say that there's a problem and try to fix it and charge an amount for that. I've seen some videos like that. So, and then I can imagine a scenario where an idiot basically joins that company and not knowing that's a scam call center, and then he thinks that he's actually doing a normal job. So I think we can have some empathy for these people, but they if they get caught, they have to learn that they did something wrong, and they and so in the future they can avoid these situations, and they have to. There should be some backlash. There should be some negative consequences. So, like this type of person will be able to learn in the future that um, they did something wrong, so they can avoid it in the future. And then I'll take this as the last topic, is lack of empathy. In my life I've seen people do small bad things to other people, like indirect, like let's say if you take a woman spreading lies and gossiping about another woman, and it's pure lies. um, and after, like when you speak to these type of people, you will come to know that they have no empathy. It's odd to see these people exist. They walk amongst us like the like normal, like you wouldn't be able to pick them out in the crowd. But these people do actually exist. They have no empathy. It's like there's something that's chemically imbalanced in their brain, and they don't know what it is to feel sorry for someone else. And I've seen the situations a few times where they're like spreading unnecessary gossip, or we can even take into consideration lack of empathy is like someone who is at work but not not doing like the minimum amount of work that requires to for them to get a salary, and not the bare minimum. I'm talking about, let's say if they have to work 8 hours a day, but their work but they can finish their work in 4 hours a day. But let's say they are not even doing that 4 hours work, for example. They can finish their work faster, but they're not even doing that 4 hours work. They are trying to avoid doing their daily responsible work, like whenever they can. So that could be considered as a bad thing, because and I think that is a form of lack of empathy. They are not um, they're not showing any remorse, basically, to even the work that they are doing. So I think something in their brain is not, it's not about being grateful about getting a salary. Okay, I think I went on long enough with this topic, so I'll end it here today. So again, I want to end my videos by saying, it would be nice if if anyone, whoever listens to this, just to take some time to think, like 5 to 10 minutes a day, like do some real deep meaning thinking, and I'm sure that will be better for the world. So if you like this type of content,